Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. How are you all doing out there? It's a cold morning here in Oklahoma, but the ice is starting to melt on the lake and it's beautiful. Drop in the comments. We are streaming live on so many platforms, and I would love to hear where you're at. And is the weather outside frightful or is it delightful? Because, we've got a new season coming, and it's so exciting to see the change of seasons where I live. Some of you who live in Arizona, maybe it's just beautiful and warm all year. I know my kids love it there. That's why I can't get them to move where we are. But there are change of seasons, and there's a change of season coming. Some of you have had an incredible winter. Some of you have had a long, cold, hard, lonely, hurtful, whatever winter. But there's a new season coming, and I want to help you step into your bliss in this new season. Find how to really soar with your gifts. Maybe you monetize that. Maybe you just find happiness because you're doing what you love every single day. But there's a few things that I want to share with you this morning about finding what you're good at and really stepping into that niche and just flourishing, everything multiplying, money coming your way, more time. Maybe you're just happy every single day and you stop struggling trying to force something that is never meant to be. You're just afraid to step out of that rut, step into your gifts, and really soar with your strengths. So that's what I'm going to share with you this morning. You might want to grab a notebook. I'm going to give you tons of good golden nuggets. And then I hope all of you can take massive and immediate action and put some, serving others, put some value in the surrounding that you're in. Bring some value to your block that you live on. Maybe you should start just in your own household. Like, how are you going to change the world if you can't change your own house, your own family, your own relationship? So I'm going to share with you today some things that have really helped me, and I hope that you will experience the same results that I have experienced. But I know this: if you don't take action, things are never going to change. The Chinese proverb says to continue to do the same exact things and expect that you're going to get a different result is absolute insanity. So look around and, are we all insane? Because why would you stay stuck somewhere that every day you wake up, you're not really loving what you do, you're not really having anyone pouring good into you, you're not pouring good out into anyone, you're just kind of like the hamster on the wheel, just going around and around. A couple of weeks ago, we were in Germany and we took trains and planes and automobiles, but we were on this train. And I remember taking a video of the track. And I was thinking of this amazing reel that I was going to make. Throughout the day, my energy about the track changed. But I was thinking of an old mentor of mine years ago. I think it was probably 1998. He was in his 60s, maybe almost 70 at the time. I think 60s. He had polio. He couldn't see. He had a cane, and he had a little twitch in his neck. Just when he would talk, he would twitch. But this guy was the number one earner in my company. He couldn't go anywhere without his assistant coming with him. He sold more, he made more, and most importantly, he gave more than anyone that I ever met before. But he would always start out his talks with something funny. And I took a video. I was like, I'm going to make a reel of this, and I'm going to give him credit. His name was Dale Maloney. Old Dale Maloney, we called him. And I'm still good friends today with his nephew and his family. They are legends in the industry where I've made the most. And I followed him as a mentor because even though he wasn't like me, he was completely different from me. He was the best at it. And in my company, he was the best. So I learned from him. And one thing that he always said, even if you're on the right track, if you don't move, you're going to get run over. And some of you, you're like, I'm on the right track. I'm doing it. But you're really not doing it. You're getting ready to get ready. Dave and I, our enroller in the first company we really had tons of success in, he enrolled us, and it was sales commission, it was direct sales, but he only enrolled us. He did get 8 people so he could maximize this commission structure. So, he had like his good friend and his wife and his daughter and his other friend. But I would be like, come on, Bert, let's go. And he would be like, I'm going to get started on Tuesday. And I knew, he made over 10,000 a month for many, many years because he found one person that would go work really, really hard. So it's not like I could just go to Bert. He changed my life. He brought me into an opportunity, but Bert didn't want to run. Bert just found one person, and then he was like, maybe I'm not good at it, but I can find somebody who is. You guys, he made a fortune. How would you like to be the person that enrolled David Pitcock in a sales structure where you would make 10 to 20% for the rest of your life, right? Well, that was a good thing for him for a very long time. I mentored with him as a friend. He still today is Dave's best friend. He's been with Dave through the hardest chapters of his life ever. You know, when his mom passed away, even though it had been, you know, it's been since 2001 since we built that company, he didn't even question it. There was Bert. You know, when Dave's little brother passed away and he drove to the airport to pick his mom up, she was flying home. We didn't realize at the time that his little brother had passed away. They were looking for him, and it was traumatic, and we didn't know where he was. And you know, Dave could barely drive. But when he got to the airport and his mom got off the plane and he had to give her the news that they had found his little brother, there was Bert standing there. I'll tell you guys something. When we go to that airport, we never take the escalator down and park in the lower parking garage, because the sound, the smell, the picture of that is so traumatic. Dave stays away from it. Like, why go back there? But there are some people that have had traumatic things happen in their life, and they just want to keep going back there, just picking that scab, just reliving that trauma, just, you know, just reliving the worst feeling and emotion and energy. And it's like they can never get away from that. And some of you, and I know you guys are saying, Barb, you don't know what I'm going through. You know, you've lost a child. I've never lost a child. I don't know what you're going through. Maybe you've been through a horrible divorce. I've never been through a horrible divorce. I don't know what you're going through. So I can't mentor you and coach you and help you get from where you're at to where you want to be. But I'll tell you something. I'm smart enough to know that I don't know everything, and finding a mentor, edifying other people and their strengths, building a team so strong, nobody even knows who the leader is. See, if I'm saying, come follow me, let me go show you what I'm going to do, I don't have to be out front with my name and my picture on everything. I want to be like, oh, you know, there's Jennifer, there's Carla, there's, you know, Carl, you know, there's Lindsay. Like, look at these people go. You know, there's Janice. I'm doing that because I want you to have the confidence and the strength and to see that a little bit of praise, just a little bit, that you're doing it, that you're going to get ahead, that you're getting out of this rut, out of the plum disease, poor little old me, and into the light where you're like, I'm going to shine here. I'm going to do good things here. You've got to get out of the rut, you guys. And I'm guilty. I got in a rut. Let me tell you, 2022 will always go down as the blues year. Like, it was just the blues. It was just one trauma after another trauma after another trauma. But I was leading a company. I had a title. I had to get up, look good, smell good, keep going. I couldn't go curl up in the fetal position and cry because everybody was looking to me to bring the energy, the strength, the faith that we couldn't give up. That if we could look up, if we could look up, we could get up. And if we could get up, we could keep moving. We didn't have to give up. And I'll tell you guys something. When you make a decision to make a move, it doesn't mean that you're a quitter. It doesn't mean that you give up. It doesn't mean that when you stop going to the cemetery every day and crying with fresh flowers, when you stop going, maybe you have a child that's gone astray. It doesn't mean that because you surrender and you move forward with your life, it doesn't mean that you don't love them, that you don't want to help them, that you don't want to change them. You do. You just make a decision that there are controllables and uncontrollables in life. And the minute that you stop changing, trying to change, stop pushing and trying to force all of the uncontrollables that you have no power over. See, I can change me, but I can't change anybody else. And sometimes that's detrimental. Like, sometimes that's tragic. Sometimes it's sad. Sometimes it's unfortunate. But I can't stop living just because of the way everybody else is. I can't stop dreaming just because I can't convince everyone else around me that they can go have and do and be and experience those things. I can't stop growing just because the people around me don't want to grow, don't want to learn, don't want to be $1 million earner, don't want to be in sales. Maybe they don't want to write a book. They never want to start a podcast. They don't want to be number one on stage. You know, the reality is, and a great mentor of mine yesterday, she has spent a ton of time with me over the last month, and I'm so grateful for her guidance. I don't know if she would even want me to say her name, but don't worry, I'm not joining another company, right? What I would tell you is this. She will say to me every single day, Barb, stop worrying about all the people. Barb, stop worrying about what this person and that person and the other person and another person is going to do. What do you want? And that's so hard for me, you guys, because I am an empath. True story, we're watching the Chiefs game. First of all, the first Chiefs game, we're coming home from Europe. We're in a first class seat, Dave and I. It's the middle of the night. It's 18 hours we were flying. And we're like, we're never going to get the Chiefs game. It's no big deal because my life doesn't live or die over football. You know, unless my kid is in a sport, I don't have to be the crazy bleacher person. For me, it's entertainment. For me, it's the social event. For me, it's the warm popcorn with the peanut M&Ms and the Kodak moment, right? But I do love a good time. I am blue personality. If it's not fun, I'm not doing it. If there's no adventure, I'm going to be bored. I can't pay attention long enough to get through a whole movie. And you know what? People used to try to put me in my box. People will say, oh, she's a lot. I'm in my bliss. I'm happy. I'm thriving. I'm striving. I'm making money. I'm succeeding because I'm going to be me. And on this plane, while everyone had their silencing headphones on and their cozy blankets and whatever, I was like, oh, Dave, we're going to be able to sleep. Well, I did sleep a little bit, but we didn't think we could get the Chiefs game. So I scrolled through literally 200 movies, you guys. Nothing enthused me except an oldie, Top Gun. And so I was like, do I want to really watch Top Gun or what do I want to do? Well, my goals, listen to me here. My goals are to kill it in 2023. My goals are to serve and empower so many people. My goals are to help all of my friends get financial freedom and better health and happiness and a better marriage and great relationship with their kids and vacation homes, or maybe they start their real estate investing or whatever. Like, my goals are so big, it will take me 2 lifetimes to live them. So I gotta live to be 100, not 52 or 62 or 72. Like, I have friends right now that have lost their lives and they're my age. They say this will be the first era where the younger generation doesn't live as old as their parents. Can you guys imagine that? That scares the hell out of me. And so I'm sitting there, my purpose, my passion, my mission, my conviction, everything that's in me is in a first class seat next to the hottest guy on the plane. I've just had the greatest 2 weeks of my life. I've walked 49 miles in 5 short days. I'm feeling good. I'm getting my waistline back. I'm just like, oh, all cushy in this seat. And you know, expecting that while we're flying, everyone in Kansas City where we're about to land is at the playoff game, and we're not. And we've been to the playoff games. It's so much fun at Arrowhead. Don't judge me whether you're a Chiefs fan or not. It's a blast. It's the loudest, proudest, most amazing fans ever. Unless they're playing Denver. And I've been there on Thanksgiving, and it always ends up with a whole bunch of drunk people in a fight. One time someone fell over the balcony. Like, there's just rivals where sometimes the energy is just not the best, right? And we took our best friends to that game, and they were from Denver. So I can easily sit, eat my warm popcorn, have a good time, and not get all emotional about who wins the ball game, right? I'm a fan. I'm just not that upset. It's a ball game at the end of the day, right? But we're on this plane. Let me get back on track. We're in these cushy seats, and out of the blue, the TV that I've just been watching, I've been watching the plane go over the ocean, and there's the equator and all these crazy things I've never heard of. The Atlantic is massive. And I'm reading my books because I'm reading the book on how to kill cancer naturally because I'm interested in that after losing someone to that horrible, evil disease. And it was this book, and then I'm reading like How to Manifest Everything in Your Life. And I got like 4 books going, my notebook, my dream board, and out of the blue on the screen pops Kansas City. And I'm like, Dave, it's on. So now you guys, we're sitting in these seats. Everyone's asleep. Dave's like, oh, the Chiefs cannot throw this away. What are they doing, right? And then the next thing you know, there's a touchdown. We're high-fiving and the energy's great. And then the next thing you know, oh my gosh. And then the next thing you know, like it was the pursuit of this, game that would make a decision. Are they going to go to the Super Bowl or are they not? And then there's an injury, right? There's an injury, but they don't give up. And all of a sudden there's a rookie getting put in and everyone is so engaged. Why? Because of the plot twist. If you go to a rodeo, what does everybody want to watch? They want to watch the bull riding because somebody might get killed. And they might get bored during all the rest of it unless they have a child doing the barrels or a husband roping a calf. But what they're really watching for is this plot twist, this, what do you call it? This climax of the story of the movie. And every single one of you has that. So the fact that Patrick Mahomes got injured and then someone else comes in and they win, everybody's waiting for the next game, right? A lot of people going for the underdog because they love the story of the quarterback. They love the story of this coach. They love the story that the Chiefs coach used to coach there, or they love the story that they're playing this team and the team that they're playing has a player on it that used to play for the opposing team. Like, it's the story that makes it exciting. People love the story. They love to see the underdog win. They love to see someone holding that championship trophy that actually went through hell to get there. And I don't know a lot of people that hate Patrick Mahomes, but some people do. Let me tell you, anyone that rises to the top, they're going to have some haters. And they're not just going to hate on them. They're going to hate on their family, their brother, their sister, their mother. Why? Because they're miserable people. And the only people that tear down other people are miserable people. When I see someone talking crap on someone on social media, my first thought isn't that, oh, that person's terrible that they're talking about. I'm like, misery loves company. Watch all the comments. That'll be all the other miserable people, right? But to me, at the end of the day, it was fun to watch them win, but it wasn't life or death for me. Because Patrick Mahomes, even if he wins 10 Super Bowls, has nothing to do with Barb Pitcock's plot twist, Barb Pitcock's, journey, Barb Pitcock's adversity and how she wins and the legacy that she's going to leave. And you guys, some people, their life revolves around who's the next NFL football game. Do you want me to tell you something? And I said this the other day when we were sitting at the table with our kids. And Callie is very much involved in professional sports because Darian plays professional basketball and they have a game today. And I probably shouldn't have said it, but I said it at the table. I'm not trying to be a dream stealer, but this is my philosophy. There are a lot of people that make a lot of money, that have a lot of fame, that have a mansion, a Lamborghini, a private jet, 10 Super Bowl rings, and whatever. And they're the most broken, unhappy people in the world. Because at the end of the day, that money doesn't make you happy. That car doesn't make you happy. That mansion doesn't make you happy. Happiness is you pursuing something that you wake up every day excited about. And I've been in line at the food pantry with Dave. Like, I didn't marry for money. I married a bull rider with a broken leg that took me to Cody, Wyoming to a nightly rodeo in October that wasn't even going to start until the spring. And he didn't make any money the whole first 6 months we were together. And he was in a cast with several surgeries. And we lived in a little tiny white house at the entrance. South Fork Road. There's South Fork, there's North Fork, and there's Yellowstone. And it was closed the whole time we lived there with feet of snow. Not just a foot, feet of snow. And it was below freezing, like -20. We had to plug our car in to even get it to start, and it wasn't my car, it was my mom's. I sold my horse that I loved just to be able to pay rent and buy food. And I left all of my dreams and goals and went with this amazing man that I fell in love with because of the vision of what could be, not because of what was. And we sacrificed. We were at the food pantry, and if you guys know how picky Dave is, if you follow any of our posts, this guy is the pickiest eater ever. He's kind of come around over 30 years of marriage, but there's not a lot of stuff at the food pantry that a picky guy will eat except for peanut butter, right? So Dave's job, he sprayed water on the tennis courts that turned into an ice skating rink between October and April. Well, long story short, we did whatever we had to do to get by. But that story of the cowboy with a broken leg that married the beautician that went bankrupt, that went through a suicide, divorced parents, 2-3 battles with a mom with cancer, a child that had a struggle, the bankruptcy, building a company, it going away, us having nothing, starting over again, building $1 million a year income, and having that taken from us, and a horrible lawsuit, and a challenge with our children, like all of that, you guys, that's my story. That's no guts, no story. That's who I am. I can't change it. I'm not ashamed of it. And when I look at you, you all have a story, and it's no different. Patrick Mahomes has a story. To think that he went to a community college ever, or to think that some of these kids, like I am Callie's friend, Byron Pringle, played for the Chiefs and then moved to Chicago. He lived in a loft that she owned for a short time. He didn't even know if the Chiefs were going to take him. And then we all got our pictures taken that year because we were so proud of this underdog. But I've been talking to him about a book that he could write. And the fact that he had parents that were incarcerated. And I remember him bringing his little boy to the breakfast place we always ate at Kansas State. He was a young kid with a little boy that was adorable. And, there would be people in the stands. I remember Tyler Lockett played that year, and everybody would hold their keys and cheer for Tyler Lockett, lock it, shake your keys. And then Byron Pringle, I remember all the fans behind us because we would always sit in the players section, and these dads would just destroy him. Why are they playing Pringle? Why would they put him in? He's horrible, blah, blah, blah. And I would get so mad because if he made a mistake, all the fans in the stands would have to tear him down like he was the reason, right? You guys, it was a football game. In my mind, people were fighting over a piece of cowhide, like a piece of leather that was sewn up, and they would then go on Twitter. They got to tear him down. They got to destroy this dumb, stupid, blah, blah, blah. And here's the other thing. At the end of the game, all these kids would be on Twitter. They were college kids. And and everybody says, oh, Barb, don't worry. Those NFL players, don't worry. You guys, their kids are reading it. Their wife's reading it. You think $10 million for a game makes a difference to them? People have feelings. I don't know why I'm coughing. I don't have a cough. But on my plane ride home, we watched this game. Fast forward the next week. It's me and Dave alone by ourselves in the living room. We're watching it again, right? And we're like, oh my goodness. Do you remember? We went to the Kansas City playoff game. It was below zero. It was freezing cold. We took all of our kids. Of course we're going to go. It's the playoffs, right? And looking back at those pictures, who goes and freezes their butts off, has frostbite? Callie and Brooklyn couldn't even feel their toes. Drinking hot chocolate, huddled up like this, freezing to death. I look at those pictures of that Chiefs playoff game, one of the funnest memories we ever had. I don't even remember if they won or lost. All I remember, it was freezing cold. The players were having a hard time getting to the stadium on ice. They were stopping to help fans get unstuck and out of the ditch, and it was all over the news. One of the guys that helped a player get out of the ditch actually got season tickets. Like, I remember those kind of things, but I don't remember the score of the game. I just remember the stories. And the other night, watching that game, when the opposing team player made a mistake and, got the foul, and then they lost the game, and he was sitting there on the bench. You guys, I was as upset for the player as I was excited about the win. I don't know why I'm wired that way. I told Dave, why am I crying looking at the guy crying? Why don't they stop Chiefs fans, don't hate on me. But I have a heart for people. I can't change that. I don't like a bully. I don't like somebody that's mean on the playground. I don't like someone that I'm at a wrestling meet and Dave's the coach and the dad is screaming at his kid, or says something derogative, like, I can't do that. It makes me want to become the non-Jesus side of me and go straight for someone's jugular. Like, stop being mean. Be a nice human. Be kind. Why do you got to go spew out all of this venom? And you guys, you know what it is? When people are under pressure, what's inside comes out. It's what's inside. I have to find a mentor to sow into me. I have to be a mentor to sow into you. Serving other people through our experiences is really the only purpose that any of us have here on this little round thing that's spinning around a million times. And I'm not going to get all churchy on you, but it says in the Bible, right? It literally says our job on this planet where there is suffering, and it isn't going to be easy, and there is going to be a ton of pain, and there is going to be a lot of sadness, and we are going to go through grief and all of these things. That's the promise, that what we are to do is to witness and serve other people. So after 30 years of marriage and all of the stuff that Dave and I have been through, and everything that we have had as a plot twist or a setback or a comeback or a fall flat, bottom of the barrel, worst time ever, can't even pay for baby formula. Dave got arrested on Brooklyn's Barney birthday party day in our backyard, and Chance was a newborn, and my whole family was there. It was a $7.45 check. You guys, it was so humiliating to him in our little town where we still live today. You know, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's real life. It's normalizing what everyone in the world is going through today. Everyone in the world today is going through the same thing that we went through in 1996 and 7 when it was a recession. Oil went to $7 a barrel. Everyone was going bankrupt. Tons of, not everyone, but majority of the big investors or oil people, not just the little people like us, people were maxing out their credit cards. People were trying to figure out how to get food. People were afraid. People's interest rates were higher than ever. The divorce ratio was going up. The suicide ratio was going up. The heart attacks on Monday were going up. People having foreclosure was going up. And it was a chapter, not a lifetime, but a chapter. And you guys, people make permanent decisions based on a temporary situation that really has nothing to do with the outcome that God has designed for their life. It's actually there for them to learn, to grow, to get the strength that they need, the conditioning. You know, how do you create a masterpiece? I've done that training a million times. You create a masterpiece by putting that pottery on the wheel, sculpting it, noticing it has a flaw, taking it off, smashing it, banging it, crunching it, getting all the sand and the rocks out, putting it back on the potter's wheel and re-sculpting over and over and over again. You know how many times I've re-sculpted who Barb Pitcock should be, wants to be, could be, and eventually in November and December, after losing Dave's mom, after a year where my daughter's boyfriend went to prison, we had a relapse happen. We had so many things happen that I don't even need to share. I don't even need to go there. You guys, this past 48 hours, I didn't share everything, but my mom, I was up all night last night, and Dave and I have been in a recording studio, not last night, the night before. My mom had an intruder break 2 windows out, climb into her house, and the cops drove by, didn't even shine a spotlight. By the time he was in the house, she was screaming frantically. My brother's already there. The cops come, they arrest the guy. You know, I didn't have to go put it all over Facebook. I actually feel sorry for the mom. I actually feel sorry for the family of this human, this person that is struggling with an addiction to meth that probably didn't even know he was in my mom's house. Am I mad? I'm grateful that my mom is okay. I'm thankful that my mom is alive. I pray for the kid. I don't have to tear him down. It's not my battle. There's my business, God's business, not my business, right? So if it's my business and I can make a difference, I'm all in. If it's not my business, I don't need to go share it. At the same time, my niece who is home working for us because we were on a trip, a business trip, she messages me, hey, Aunt Barbie, don't think I can go to work. I'm in an ambulance. I'm going to ER. I'm like, this is not happening. It's 3 a.m, right? most people would be like, oh my God, we got to pack up. We got to drive home. Mom just got robbed. There's an intruder in her house. Niece is in ER. Other niece is doing a big show for us in St. Louis with my sister. Like, what are we going to do? You know, I have learned, you guys, there is going to be a setback every single day. How you deal with those setbacks, what spews out of you when you're under pressure, is the real test. And when Patrick Mahomes had that microphone, he had some haters, right? He had some haters from another state, a state where I have a lot of people in my business, a state that I love, a state where I have a lot of friends. It's not their fault that the mayor said something. They probably don't even care who wins the game, so I don't have to go share it all. But let me tell you, Patrick Mahomes was so classy in the fact that he just, gave all the credit to his team. But somebody had his back. And man, when he got the microphone, you could tell he had a desire to win because of a hater that had tried to stop him. And you guys, here's the thing. We're all going to have haters. We're all going to have setbacks. We're all going to have people that want to tear us down when we are at the worst part of our life. Do you want to know why I probably have compassion even when there's an intruder? I probably have compassion even when there's something unfortunate that happens. I have compassion because you have to stay grateful even when you're under tons of pressure. You have to find the good. You have to find a way to reframe that and be like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? This is bad, but we can't stay stuck here. And here's what I have learned. The people who spew the venom, the people who want to share every negative thing that ever happened, the people who hate on other people, there is nobody to judge except one person, and that's not me or you. And he's watching. Has she learned the lesson yet? Does she get the assignment? The people that spew all the venom, the people that share all the bad, the people that tear people down when they're at their worst, there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't want to sign up for that class again, because the more I did that, and I've done it, the more I was so full of anger and hate and resentment and jealousy and ego, the longer I stayed poor, pathetic, penniless, and sick. And you know what? I don't want to stay in that state. I want to rise. I want to thrive. I want to make a difference. I want to serve people. I want to teach them everything I learned the hard way. And the School of Hard Knocks was not easy, has not ever been easy for Dave and I. But you know what, you guys? We just keep getting up. We just keep crushing it. Even though sometimes we have to stay and struggle through a certain chapter, it's our conditioning. It's the way that we learn. It's the way that we grow. And I'm telling you, every lowest point of our life gives us so momentum, like a roller coaster, that when we come back, we come back. And there is a really good song called Are You Ready for the Comeback? When I listen to that, it gives me so much energy. You guys, I don't know who's going to win the game. We're heading to Phoenix this week. We're excited about the Super Bowl because it's entertainment. But you guys, my life is not going to be affected one bit based on who wins that Super Bowl. Honestly, I have no idea half the time who's even offense and defense. I don't even understand the game. Sometimes I'm like, yes. And Dave's like, no, that was the other team. But you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy regardless of the outcome. You have to quit getting so involved in all of the emotion of the news, the politics, crap that you severed a relationship with your loved ones during the pandemic over that really didn't have anything to do with your future. It was just an opinion. And now there's people that don't speak over stuff that was like my side against your side, or my opinion against your opinion, or my belief against your belief. You guys, at the end of the day, none of it matters. What matters is what you did while you were breathing on this planet, and what everyone sees coming out of you, what everyone will say that you did or said or made a difference or encouraged or helped or gave. That's really what it's all about. And you all might think I went off the deep end, but that day that Dave's mom took her last breath, I drew a line in the sand, and I learned a very valuable lesson. And I made a very big decision with conviction. Not another day, not one more day of my life will I ever feel anything except for gratitude. I'm moving forward, surrounded by people with great energy. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make an impact. I'm going to build an empire. I'm going to leave a legacy. And I'm going to impact so many people's lives with my gifts. Some things I suck at. Details, for instance. Details. Oh my goodness. This is why I surround myself with so many smart people. I was getting ready to leave, and we own a private label company. We own a coffee roastery, an essential oil company, CBD packaging and bottling, a huge operation, right? And I'm getting ready to leave, and I want to help because there's situations going on where my nieces that literally run the show, they're not there. And I'm looking at this massive order, and I tell Dave, let me help. So there's beans, there's K-cups, and there's ground coffee. There's regular roast, there's hazelnut roast, there's vanilla roast, and there's Irish cream. And so there's a machine, you put it in, the K-cups come out, the beans come out of the roastery, you put the things, and then you put them in line to get labels. Well, all beans are the same color. They're in different bins. But I want to help. I'm like, oh, let me help. Let me do this. And the next thing you know, Dave says, way to go, Barb. You just put vanilla labels on all of the vanilla beans that were roasted, dropped, bagged, sealed, and online to get all their labels. And you just put the wrong label on every single bag. And I said, oh, no big deal. I'll just get a new label and put it over there. And Dave said, no, you won't. That's not how it works. And it started back over again. Here's the lesson that I learned. My niece tells me this every day. Barb, stay in your own lane. Go talk. Go speak. Go sell. Go inspire somebody. Never try to be the girl that does quality control because you're just a hot mess every single day. Now, you know what, guys? I don't care. I'm happy being a hot mess. I'm too much for most because most people will do just enough to get paid and just little enough to not get fired, and they're never going to try to be a difference maker. That's not me. That's not the way that God wired me. I've been getting in trouble for talking since I was in kindergarten. I've been sat in the hall, sent to the principal, bad grade on my report card, always a C student at best, because I was never meant to sit in a desk, get straight A's, be smart, be the one. Like, I'm pretty dang smart. Like, common sense. Most people that are smart don't even think about that. Like, I am very, very wise. I don't need the PhD behind my name to get where I want to be in life. Some people do. I don't need to. That's your story. That's not my story. So some of you keep trying to get smarter. Some of you keep trying to get better. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Let me ask you a question. What makes you happiest? What would you do every single day, even if you never got paid for it? What do you love? Do you know what? I would be the happiest person in the world if I could just talk, decorate Christmas trees, play with grandkids, and wake up on the lake. So Dave buys me a domain. He goes and rents me a building. Get back into the Christmas store business. You were happiest doing that. I was. It's not going to change everybody's life, right? So I have to look at what my mission is. I have to look at where I can find a mentor. I have to look at how I can always be teachable and coachable to get better, to move from where I'm at to where I want to be. Most people won't hire the mentor. Most people are not teachable. Most people are actually threatened by the people that are better than them. Guess what? I want to learn from them. I want them to teach me everything they know so I can be so good that if they're really a good teacher, they'll teach me and I'll do it even better than they did. That's the real test of a teacher. So when I think about what I can bring, when I think about how I can serve, when I think about what Dave and I can do, Dave is amazing at what he does in the lab, in our company, whether he's running a network marketing company, running a distribution center, opening retail stores. Like, this guy is a brain. He's just good at it. Him and his mom both, tons of brains, tons and tons and tons of brains. Me, just a whole lot of fun, just a whole lot of spirit, just a whole bunch of tenacity, just a whole bunch of perseverance. The biggest dreamer in the whole wide world that most people get annoyed because all I want to do is drive around and dream build. All I want to do is drive by the house, take another picture, make another vision board, plan another trip. write another chapter. Like, that's just me. I can't change who I am. And some of you need to quit letting everybody put a lid on you. You need to quit letting everybody try to put you in a box. You need to quit letting everybody tell you all the things that you're not good at. And find the one thing you're good at and find a way to take that niche. I don't care if it's fishing. Dave loves to fish. I tell him every day, start a guide service. Start a guide service, you'll make millions of dollars, you'll love your life every single day, and you'll just be sitting out there catching crappie. And Dave's like, no, because I couldn't handle it if I took somebody someday and they came up empty like I do. Like, what if there's no fish? He just loves it. He enjoys it. Me, I like my book when I'm on the boat. I can't be in the sun, so I got to have the thing over my head, you know. The heat makes me sick if I'm out there very long, but I love the energy of it. I love being with my husband, having fun, learning, growing, laughing, taking pictures. That's what I love. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you even know what you love? Have you ever really sat down and said, what do I love? What am I good at? What would I do every single day? I love direct sales. I think what I really love is the challenge of it. It's not even about the money. It's me taking someone that doesn't have anything and saying, you can dream, you can have, you can be, you can do. And me knowing that for a very low price, they could get involved and then they have success. And it's unbelievable. You know what? What I don't love is when I'm trying to tell something to someone to do that I'm not doing myself. When I'm trying to teach someone something and I'm not seeing the result I want to see them get. It's about systems. Systems, S, save, Y, U, T, time, or SYSTEM. Save yourself time, energy, and money. Dave and I are big on systems. And we had a system. We had a success training system. That's the way we became successful. We had a mentor, not just in business, but in the packaging business, in the CBD business, in the essential oils business, in the direct sales business, in the salon that I own business. Like, you got to go find the person that's best at it. And then you say, how do I scale this? If you don't know, get a book. How do I scale a business? Grant Cardone's COO. She is the best at it. If you don't believe me, how many of you have not had an email, a message, a text, or seen a video of Cardone University or 10X? It's everywhere. They're dominating because they learned how to scale a team. I went to their 10X women's event last year. Oh my gosh, in February, life changing. Sat there with Barbara Majeski and, you know, the woman, Sharon Lecter, who wrote all of Rich Dad, Poor Dad books, all of the Kiyosaki books. Can you imagine? I'm sitting at lunch. I'm like, tell me everything you know. I have my notebook at lunch. I don't even think I took a bite. I want to learn from these people because that's what I want to do. And you know what? Next thing you knew, I had an Airbnb. Next thing you knew, I had another real estate investment. Next thing you knew, I was scaling my portfolio like they taught. Some people, they want to get started. They're going to get started. Kind of like Dave's best friend, Bert. We always tease him, you're just waiting on Tuesday. You guys, don't wait on Tuesday. It's Saturday. Get the book, watch the YouTube, take the course, get it. I don't care what you got to do, but get it. I was reading Vince Lombardi's book this morning. Dave and I used to be in a business with the guy holding him up in every picture that you see. His name was Jerry Kramer, incredible football legend. The business we were in didn't go that well. Learned a lot. Learned what to do, what not to do, based on mistakes that were made. You know, when you own a company and you're the keeper of people's dreams, their livelihood is based on your leadership. Your leadership. You know, they're trusting you. They're following you. What do they see you doing? If you're not willing to do what others are expected to do, stop trying to be their leader. Like, you've got to set the pace. And this one quote that was in here was so good. He said, we are going to win some games. Do you know why? Because you are going to have confidence in me and my system. Probably one of the greatest coaches of all time, if not the greatest. To play with confidence, a team must feel that everything possible has been already done to prepare it fully with the coming game that they know they can win. Look yourself in the eye. Do you know that you can win? Do you know that your leader that's leading you is going to win? Do you believe it? Are you reading the book? Are you listening to the audio? Do you go find a YouTube? Do you sign up for the mentoring? Do you have a course that's actually teaching you? Or are you just like a ship without a rudder, just kind of going through life? And I'm telling you guys, we all make mistakes. And if you make a mistake, eat your little humble pie and come out and say, I screwed up. I made a mistake. I want to apologize. I'm your leader. You should expect more from me than that. You guys, I've made a lot of mistakes and I've learned and I've grown, but here's what I know. You don't have to stay in that chapter forever. It's a chapter. It's not a lifetime. And what Vince Lombardi says, as soon as the error is corrected, it is important that the error is forgotten. You can learn from it, but the only successful attempts in the future can be you thinking about the future, not the errors, not the mistakes, not the humiliations, not everything that you did wrong. You can't keep watching Twitter feed if you're the guy that made the play that cost the game. It wasn't just you making the play that cost the game. A lot of things could have went differently. A lot of things, but if God allowed it, if he allowed it, I have to believe that it was meant for your good, not to harm you, but to prosper you, to give you hope and a future. You guys, we all have a playbook of mistakes. We all have a playbook of chapters that we're not proud of. We all have a playbook where we say, who's ever going to respect me if they know that I had this chapter? Do you know what? This is what I learned. Every bit of struggle that you have had is the blueprint for the empire that you are going to build. It's the prospect list of the people that you're going to impact. See, the people that follow me, they're a lot like me. The people that love me, they're like, I can relate to her. You're going to have a certain tribe that is going to follow you because they're your type of people. Look around you. Who you end up talking to in the restaurant, who you get seated by on the airplane, who you end up loving on Facebook. You know, people buy based on how they feel. It's not about the facts. It's the feeling, it's the emotion, it's the energy, and you're either attractive or you're not that attractive. If you want people to be interested in what you're doing, be interesting. If you want people to buy from you, let them know how much you care, not how much you know. And if you really, really, really want to be the most successful, stop trying to do things you're not good at. Me? I don't care if I ever pack an order. I would much rather be on a plane, going to hang out with my grandkids, going to Phoenix the week of the Super Bowl. Like, I would much rather be doing that than me being the one doing something I'm not good at. But there has to be a system for you to really scale your life, to have financial freedom, to have time freedom, to have peace of mind. You got to find what you're good at. Go do that every day, something that you love, that you would do even if you didn't get paid, and find a way to get paid for it. And you guys, for the first time in 30 years, Dave and I are figuring this out. We're going to go create an energy, create a mastermind group, create an inner circle, if you will, create a table with tons of seats where a lot of people can be like, that's my jam. Let's go. Let's go. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to be mentored. I want to be free. And I don't even know what it's going to look like. All I know is if I keep waiting to get started, waiting on Tuesday, waiting for the right timing, waiting for the right conditions, waiting for the right whatever chapter in the history of politics and our economy, then I might die before all that happens. And all I know is this. On November 17th, I made a decision. I'm going to live every single day like I'm dying tomorrow. And I'm going to take massive and immediate action on all of my goals and my dreams. And I don't care what's been lost. I don't care if I had nobody that followed me. I know this. God doesn't call the equipped. He equips the ones that he calls. And he gave me one strength that I know that I have. I'm not afraid to open my mouth, and I never feel like stopping talking. I have had so much experience. I am full of so much love. I have had so much adversity that God has just carried me through. I wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for him, over especially the last 12 months of our life. And I'm going to tell the world about that. If you're stuck, if you're struggling, if you're unhappy, if your relationship sucks, if your health is bad, if your finances are low, if your debts are high, if you're scared, action cures fear. Like, do something. Success isn't going to attack any of you. Any of you. It's going to take some work. But so is punching a clock for 40 years. So is going to the gym to get those abs you're working so hard on. So is saving the money to get the lending for your first home. Like, everything's going to take some effort, but it will be worth it if you just get started. So Dave and I decided, what's one thing that we could do? And we put together 3 things that have helped us, whether we had a child in trouble, a mother-in-law with hospice, a bankruptcy in the newspaper, a $7 check that bounced, a company that we believed in that turned out to be not the best experience, becoming the top earner and then watching a football player buy the company that it was bankrupt in 17 months. There's been a lot of stuff happening. Dave's parents divorced, my parents divorced. There's a lot of things. You may even be raising adults that you think, oh my goodness, we've got the greatest family going on over here, and all of a sudden there's a separation. It's devastating, you guys. Life is hard, but it's not the entire lifetime. It is one little chapter. And what you learn and how you grow and how teachable you are to literally surrender it. Just be like, I surrender it. I want to get better. And in order for things to get better, I have to get better. Not if she would get better, I would be better. If she would get well, I would be okay. If she would change, I could actually stand to do this. You can't keep looking around everyone in your office, your family, your church, your business, your gym, whatever, your neighbor. Like, it's not about them. It's about you. And the minute that you decide that you're going to get better, your life will get better. And the day that you say, what do I love? What do I love to do? And you quit getting out of your lane and trying to be like everybody else wants you to be. You quit letting someone keep a lid on you because you're definitely not like them and they want you to be a certain way. When you just step into your greatness and say, here I am, get ready world, here I come. Let me tell you guys, money will flow to you, prospects will flow to you, real estate investments will flow to you, opportunities will flow to you, customers will be attracted to you. Everything you do, it'll be like you just got the Midas touch. It's just going to be like the Midas touch where they go like, how come everything she does turns to gold? Do you know what it is, you guys? When you look at people like that, it's energy. Change your energy, change your life, and find your niche. Find what you really love. Go find the person that's the best at it. Be teachable. Where's your teachability index? Be coachable. Pivot. Adapt to change. The world's changing. If you don't change, you're going to be somebody from history that was successful. You're not going to thrive in this economy with social selling, with all of the noise that's out there. There's so much competition. You've got to be different, and you were made different. God made you and only you like you are. If you would just step out of your comfort zone, just step right into like, here I am, use me, here's my gifts, here's my talents, here's my strengths, let's go, you will be amazed. You'll be happier, you'll sleep better, the money will flow, your relationships will be better because you won't be trying to force something every single day. And not only that, the most important thing, you guys, your health will be better. Your health will be better. I have never been as sick as I was from November until January the 5th. And I don't ever want to be that sick again. And I will tell you what, it's energy, it's frequencies, it's thoughts, it's fear, it's grief, it's sadness, it's shame, it's guilt, it's all the low vibrations that get you to that point that you're like, I don't know how I'm ever going to get out of this. But if you can look up, as Les Brown says, if you can look up, you can get up. And if you can get up and you can start to take a little bit of action every single day, you guys, a little bit of action will create a little bit of confidence. And a little bit of confidence will bring you a little bit of success. And the reality is that success wheel will be like this. It's going to be action, confidence, success, action, confidence, success, action, confidence, success. And pretty soon it's like this, and that hamster is like off the wheel and rolling into the greatest chapter you've ever experienced in your life. But you got to get out of the rut. You're not a robot. You know, you have certain things that you can say, I'm not a tree. I can move from here to over there. You can relocate. You can find some new mentors. You can get some new friends. You can start a brand new business. My friend Chris Draper, my top earner, my top leader ever in my entire history of my career. This couple came into my booth at Dallas Market. I sold them CBD coffee, cream. They did their own private label. They were a booming boutique, $1 million earners in a little company called LuLaRoe before that. And they said, we hate network marketing. We're never doing that. No. And Kelly was like, Mom, you should meet these people. And I was doing direct sales, and I gave them a sample, and they chewed me up. They spit me out and walked away. Didn't want that. They did buy from me in my traditional business. The pandemic happened. It was a bad thing. It was a horrible thing, right? All the shows stopped. All the stores are closed. We have stores in malls. Can you imagine retail stores? And it's COVID. So what happened was he calls the office to place an order for his products that he did private label on at the time. And he goes, how are things? And I go, oh, things are good. Things are good. And he goes, they are? I go, yeah. You know, we have this new thing. And I told him about this new thing. And he goes, that's interesting. I go, yeah, did you try the products I gave you? And he goes, no, I didn't. They're still in the nightstand. And then they tried a product I gave them. They experienced something they had never experienced before. They hated the industry. They didn't want to enroll anyone. They didn't want to build a team. They were never doing that again. They just made a little Facebook post, just a little Facebook post. And they made more money than I have ever seen anyone make ever in 90 days, ever. Like 2 digits and a comma and some zeros, 2 digits and a comma and some zeros within a month or two. It was insane. They were making more than I was making. And I was an owner. I was looking at them like, how are you getting weekly checks like that? What in the world? I had to be teachable. I had to be coachable. I had to look at them and say, you know what was better than that? They brought someone that did more than they did in a month in 1 hour. 1 hour. No ego. You know what they said? She's a rock star. And they want to just get out of her way, right? Well, you guys, that's all in the past. But I want to tell you something. That couple has the Midas touch. When they do things, it turns to gold. They used to have a bakery. One day when he was trying to force things and, certain things weren't working anymore, maybe Facebook pages weren't working the same, or maybe the boutique wasn't working the same, or for whatever reason, maybe they don't want to work with me anymore. I don't know. We're friends, right? I'm joking. He said, we're going to start a food truck and we're going to make chocolate chip cookies. And we're going to call them nacho cookies, right? And I was like, nacho cookies. Get chipped. It was a cookie with a chip out of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, good for you guys. Let me know how it goes. Next thing I know, they just don't have a food truck. They got a franchise. They just don't have a food truck. They have other people that are like, we're going to go make chocolate chip cookies and make them look like nachos. And you can get them with fruit or frosting or whatever. And you guys, they're killing it. Why? Because when they noticed they needed to make a pivot, they said, what do we love to do? We love the bakery. We love making people happy. We love to make money. We love to help other people make money. And they didn't have to do it the same way they always did it. They just found what they loved and they stepped into their bliss. And you guys, I could have been forcing them to do network marketing, forcing them to build a team, forcing them because I need you to do this. Like, you're the best at it. You know what I said? I love you guys. Go do what makes you happy. And you know what? I have no doubt. We'll probably write books together. We'll probably have seminars together. We'll probably go on vacations together because likes attract likes. I don't care what company you're in. That's the honest to God truth. I just want you to be happy. I don't care how successful you are somewhere else. We were never in a competition with each other anyway, right? God brought you into my life maybe just for a certain time. Maybe I learned a lesson from you. Maybe what you did taught me a lesson, what not to do. Maybe I learned one phrase from you that would change my life. Maybe it was that you had a child that was struggling and so did I. Maybe we prayed together. when we both needed someone. And then it was just for a short time. But here's what I know. It's never by accident. And you're not even watching this video by accident, because we are going to do big things together in 2023. So now I need to wrap this up. I am super excited about the new chapter that Dave and I are in. And we are finally able. We have the time, we have the resources, we have the staff and the team to really create an incredible coaching program. And we're going to start by a free seminar that is going to happen on the 18th of February. And it's free. It's going to be a recording that's going to drop right into your email. It's not going to be about direct sales at all. It's not going to be about selling at all. It's not even going to be about making money at all. It's going to be about you figuring out how to get through all of the chapters that you will have. If you haven't had them yet, it's life. They're coming. How you get through the stuff when the world's going sideways, upright, upside down, crashing, when you feel like you could never be happy again. You feel like you could never get back up out of that fetal position. You are crushed. How to go from being crushed to crushing it. How you can take what's happened to you and find a way to move forward and be better than you've ever been. It won't be easy. I never said it would be easy, but it's simple. And even though it's not easy, it will be worth it, because your kids are looking at you. Your grandkids are looking at you. Someday your great-grandkids will hear the story about you. You're the leader, whether you know it or not. You're the leader if you're a mom. You're the leader if you're a dad. Even if you don't have kids, if you have a sibling, you have nieces and nephews, somebody's looking to you. And they're either going to say, because of her, I was, or they're never going to remember anything that you did that made an impact. You guys get up, and let's make an impact. All you got to do is go to the website that I'm going to drop in the comments. It's davidandbarb.com. Really, really simple. Dave wasn't available, so we had to do David, D-A-V-I-D, and barb.com. There's going to be a little place there where you put whatever email you want us to send you the free course. It's going to be a 3-part course. It's going to be short, to the point, simple, but life-changing. And instead of putting it all over Facebook for everyone to know, we're just going to give it to the ones that really want it. How did we get through bankruptcy, suicide, cancer, child struggling, depression, losing all of our income, bad business decisions, poor relationship, whatever it was that we had happening? Dave and I have never had a poor relationship. We have been surrounded before where we got in relationships that were like, why did we just merge our whole company over here? This isn't working, right? That wasn't a mistake. That wasn't a mistake. It was meant to happen to bring us to where we are today. And we couldn't be happier to be doing what we love, serving, sharing, giving, and we can't do it without you, right? Because I'm not just going to stand here and talk to this wall. So if you guys would do me a favor, go there, put in your email, tell us where you want us to send the free course, and we're going to be recording over the next couple weeks. It's going to drop on the 18th. The launch date is the 18th, right into your email. Absolutely free, no credit card needed. So that's our way of giving back. We have been blessed beyond measure. Blessed to the point I have to pinch myself like, Lord, what did I do to deserve this amazing husband? Like, what did I do to deserve timing and business opportunities? Yes, I had to go work, but I was blessed to ever even have him presented to me. And you guys, I want you to be blessed. I want you to experience so much happiness and bliss in your life. But it starts with you. Success isn't going to attack you. And most people are so sour, they repel the good things that come to them. So raise your energy. Let's raise your frequency. Let's get together on the 18th in a virtual event that's going to come right in your mailbox. Go get it today. And I hope you guys make it an amazing Saturday. I'll talk to you all soon.